Okay, keep going.
Hey guys, Mike here. Welcome back to the vlog. You know, I've never been much of a nursery rhyme person. Singer, of course. And I was just thinking of one. Roses are red, violets are blue. What the heck have I got myself into? I only say that because got some projects. I'm speechless. I know, it's crazy. Cut it out, Mike. No, really, cut it out when you edit it. So yeah, as per the last episode, we got the transmission out and it's broken. If you didn't see the last episode, we pulled the transmission, well, out of stubby. And, you know, it's going to have to look worse before it gets better. Now, Dad got a price from transmission shop, and it's going to be like $4,500 to rebuild that. But I think we can get one at the Auto Wreckers for about $2,500. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to buy a 13-speed. Unless y'all got a 13-speed, you just want to donate. And you're near Prince George, British Columbia. But because the transmission I have over there, if you remember from last year, I bought a transmission for it, but it's too big a transmission. It's overkill. So, you know, oh, poor Mr. Stubbs. He's got 1,450 foot-pound torque engine for 30 horse N14. And this, if we look at it, is an RTLO 2918B. So the 20 means it's good for 20,000 foot-pounds of torque, or pardon me, 2,000 foot-pounds of torque. Could you imagine 20,000 foot-pounds of torque? Woo! You wouldn't be shifting gears, I know that much. But yeah, 2,000 foot-pounds of torque and 18 gears. So, and the RTLO means it's a overdrive transmission. So we can put that in, but it's too good for that engine. So we're not gonna, because I could sell that for probably $8,000, something, maybe, I don't know, 6,500. Or I keep it, we put it in K2 and big power. So we'll see what we do. Dad doesn't want to use it, and this is Dad's truck. So there you go. Dad wants to put a 13-speed back in, and we've got the wiring harness out, ready to be taped up. So yeah. Oh, and can't remember if I showed you in the last one. Probably did actually, but we have two broken bell housing bolts. Isn't that great? So we needed to get some oxyacetylene. So Dad picked up some oxygen and is probably going to try that today. Not really looking forward to it because my experience with broken bolts is they don't come out very easy because you break them off because it was hard. I should have used some heat or something, but you know what? You realize it after you break it. You know what I mean? So, worst case scenario, we'll drill it out in helicoil. So, and of course, there's my panel, and you're thinking, Mike, why is your panel sitting right there? Why'd you leave your panel out, Mike? Well, oh, look at that. It's gonna look worse before it gets better, right? That's what we're gonna tell ourselves. That's what I'm telling myself anyways. So today, what I wanna do is start on the fiberglass, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut sections out so that I can resin glue fiberglass in new pieces. I'm gonna cut these huck bolts here, and I would like to clean the inside of the truck a bit, maybe, you know, because I want to get rid of anything that's smoky smell, like clean it, paint it, which, you know what, the inside of the truck is not smelling very smoky these days, which is fantastic. And then I need to start cleaning up these panels here because, you know, they're good, but they got smoke damage. So I need to try and clean those up. That'll probably be in the next episode or so. But look at this. This is what I did this week. I didn't tell you guys this week, but I did it. So now we're telling you today. But I had a new panel made. Look at that. Hey, I'll get on the other side of the tractor. So I went to a local metal shop and gave them the other one as an example. And they cut this out for me. They cut the vent out, the door, the fuel door. They made it 2 inches longer, just like I asked. So now, I mean, it's got a few scratches on it, but that's okay because this is going to get primed and painted. And yeah, so, and they folded that edge over for me. So now all I have to do, ooh, and it's sharp. Note to self, it's sharp. I cut my finger. It's looking better, but I did cut my finger on it. So yeah, so all I have to do now is lay this on top of the old one and start drilling holes for all the huck bolts. So that's what we're gonna do. All you guys said I need to kill another cab, use it for parts. Nah, I'm gonna use new aluminum. And I'm gonna use this as the template to drill all my holes. So that'll be fun. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. And fiberglass. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the Aerodyne top right off, and I've got a new cap for it. Let's go check out the new cap I picked up today. Oh, it's bright out here. Sunny. Check it out. We got a new cap. So we're gonna cut the Aerodyne off, and we're gonna put this over the window, and we're gonna make it a raised roof. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I'm using this for donor pieces. So we're gonna cut chunks out of the Aerodyne that's burnt, and I'm gonna cut pieces out of this, because this is actually a roof cap off a Peterbilt, probably a 389 with a 63-inch bunk that crashed. So it's got damage. This is a good side. So this is a flat side where I can harvest flat fiberglass and then French it in. And it's cracked. Well, it's cracked in that corner and it's cracked down here because it was in an accident. But look at how much good pieces there are. There's gussets. So there's the fiberglass gussets if I need to replace one in smoky. And look at all this good fiberglass. So this is just for donor fiberglass. That's all it's for. You know, it's pretty flat there too, so I could probably get some there too. But yeah, that's donor roof. It's kind of handy, you know, when, you know, people in the truck body industry that can help you out a little bit. So big shout out to Mike that hooked me up, because this is going to go in the garbage. And you know what? There's lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff left. Recycle, reuse, repurpose. And I mean, let's face it, if I could have bought a new roof section, I would have. But that's what we're doing. Got my harvest on. It's spring harvest. Or maybe it's harvesting. It's trying to snow. Like, I don't know if you guys probably can't see it on camera, but it's got to stop snowing. It's got to stop. Mother Nature, it's time to stop. That's what I'm saying. But so yeah, we're not cutting the Aerodyne off. That'd be like cutting your toes off. But I'm just gonna take the burnt sections out, cut squares, whatever, and use that. The curves, I might have to reconstruct, kind of like a, you know, kind of like a plastic surgeon, but I'm gonna try and just do the square parts. And that's the beauty of the old cab being so angular. It's like doot, 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 doot. So that's what we're gonna do. Right or wrong, left or right, that's what I'm doing. If I do it wrong, guess what? It's 100% warranty. I know, I get to do it again then. Or you get to ignore it and hopefully no one will notice because it's up high. So if there's blemishes, it's up high and people can't see. I thought about this, so I know. But anyways, all joking aside, it's time to get at her. And because the only way it's going to get back together is if I keep working on it. You know, I've tried talking it back together, but it just doesn't work. So I guess I gotta work. And I'm gonna have to make some dust, which really stinks because then, like I'm gonna have to wipe my walls. But, oh well, what do you do? It's a truck shop now. We'll clean it up later. Okay, get to work. Mike, I mean, you guys don't, well, I mean, you can get to work if you want, but I would never tell you what to do. Except my kids, I tell them what to do, and they don't listen anyway. So anyways, enough babbling.
You know, how many kilometers you got on this thing?
103,000 kilometers.
Yeah. If I do what I want to do, I should buy it off you.
Yeah?
I'm trading you for the cab over. Does that sound like a good deal?
I don't know.
How do you do this?
Let me show you the way.
Being half blind.
You just gotta pull that out. And then you just flip it right back.
Just like the normal ones.
I actually sell these Peterbilt.
Yeah.
Which is how I ended up with them. I'm actually kind of surprised that this isn't something that gets fixed, but it's probably one of those things. To buy the roof cap is cheaper than the labor to fix the fiberglass.
Well, is it fiberglass or is it that?
Oh no, it's fiberglass.
Okay, keep going.
Here, I'll just set it down. Here. Okay. My shoulder is less than happy.
You'd think being fiberglass, they would have fixed that.
Yeah. Huh? I don't know.
Maybe it's a insurance job. Well, I guess it's broken over here too.
Yeah, and in this corner.
No.
But see, I should measure these holes. Maybe I can cut it and actually make my hole slide up.
Well, measure it.
How hard could it be? Probably not hard for a carpenter type person.
Well, where's your tape measure? Because they're probably all the same.
It's all hard to say. My luck, Kenworth and Peterbilt will be off by like a quarter of an inch.
Well, true.
Just like the vents are different size.
Yeah. Those are 3 inch.
Okay, I'll pull this thing out of here. Oh my gosh. It's definitely 3 inches. I shouldn't assume. I was gonna say, I'm gonna assume that the bottom's the same as the top, but well, there's multiple holes in here. I can tell which is. It's just a hair under 39 inches.
Just see here. You can.
It's just a hair under 39 inches.
Oh.
So,
If right,
I do it right, I can cut a panel. My rivets line up. Ow, my back. I pulled a muscle in my shoulder putting this thing in, and it's not happy. Cool thing is, I thought if this hole, like vent, was, of course, I was just thinking, if it was the same size as the Kenworth one, I could just order a Peterbilt vent, because I work at Peterbilt. But they're a different size.
get a Kenworth vent and put it on the far side, nobody will ever notice the difference.
I mean a Peterbilt one.
No, a Kenworth one. Because Kenworth will fit that hole.
No, this is a Peterbilt though.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, then get a Peterbilt one.
But then I also have to make sure the holes line up.
Well, yeah. I would be more inclined to line these holes up than anything else.
Yeah, it's easy to cut a hole.
Well, I wouldn't even bother, personally.
Putting a vent in. Because honestly, how often would I, wow.
Well, you can't look at both sides at the same time, so what's the difference? Most people wouldn't know that there's only one on the other side.
It's true. And then I don't have to buy a vent.
Exactly.
And the interior will probably come where you have to cut out the hole for the vent anyways, which...
Probably. Well, I mean, the other thing is if the interior, you have the vent, then you just have to cut a hole later.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's lots of flat spots along the back there too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what I figured, because with this, if I screw up, there's there's a lot.
What I got thinking is, like the roof pieces, cut it out of here where it has a slight curve to it.
Yep.
But I mean, the skill saw will fix that. But like right at the back here, it's just about flat. And even if it does have a little curve on the top, it don't matter.
See, and the nice thing, this is like the right thickness and everything, so.
Yeah.
I think this is out of a 379 that they're working on.
Oh yeah.
Because the new ones probably are metin. What I should do, this side is better than that side, so I should cut it out of that side first, so if I screw up, I got one more side.
Cut it oversized so you can match up the holes and then trim it
Yeah,
later.
yeah. That's what we'll do. That's what we're gonna do. Cut it oversized. And then actually I could put, like just stick some dummy rivets or little bolts or whatever to hold it in place when I,
Yeah.
and then fiberglass it.
Yeah.
And like I figured I'd put a filler piece underneath it so when I fiberglass it, there's a gap so that I can just slide the tin underneath it. And
Well, what I was gonna show you over here,
yeah,
just put some body filler in there. You know, start back and just gradually body fill it to fit.
just to do that transition a little easier.
Yeah. And like if it's hardened, then you can drill the hole. Like when I put that body filler on the cab over, I drilled the holes in it and you'd never even know it was body filler.
Uh-huh.
And then the rivets went in nicely, so yeah.
Well, that's what we'll do. And then up there, I probably shouldn't have cut with the disc grinder up when I cut that panel as much as I did, because I was thinking I should have made the transition on this side a little bit. Well, actually what I should do is I'll make it between two rivets.
Yeah.
So it's in the center, but and I'll just go up there. And then I thought I would leave the curve of the roof, get up to the curve, but leave the curve of the roof so that the whole flat side is done, and then do on top.
Yeah.
And then rebuild the curve, try and leave enough of the what's there. Hopefully there's enough to...
As far as the curve, if there's enough fiberglass underneath it, just fiberglass over top of it.
Yeah. Be like making a mold.
Oh yeah.
And then like here where it's somewhat solidish, I'll just grind it down some more. And then just
feather it in.
Yeah. But I think what I should do is when it comes to grinding it, I think I should almost drag this thing outside because of all the dust it's going to make.
I wouldn't worry about it.
But at least with cutting it out, I'm going to make less fiberglass dust and crudsies. And I'm just going to cut it with just the chop saw, the disc grinder.
Yep.
Which is why I put this here. Put all my bolts in a bin, because like I don't know what this bolt goes to. I know I took it out. Do I know where it went? No. These were light bolts. I know that. These are washers. These were. How hard can it be? It's going to be a bugger. That's what it's going to be.
It won't be hard as long as I don't steal too many bolts for my truck.
And look at all this change I've gotten out of these trucks. This is my pile of change. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a couple more toonies in here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's like $12 there.
Have you ever tried putting your pants on in a sleeper out of a cab over?
No. So that's why there's so much change in it.
Well, next time, lay down in your bed before you get up. Put your pants on when you're in bed. That's what it's like trying to put your clothes on in a cab over.
In a cab over. Well, that's why I buy cab overs, because there's lots of change in them.
Somehow, I don't think that's going to pay for all the repairs.
My back. Dad serviced the backhoe, and now we're just BSing because, you know, that's what we do. Well, guys, we haven't got much work done today. I cleaned up the bench, and I hurt my shoulder, tweaked a muscle, so I'm feeling a little, a little lazy. And Dad serviced the backhoe, but, so yeah, now we're just BSing. But yeah, I was gonna say, so customer's truck, it's a 2000 W900, and we just put a new, it says ISX on the side of it, but it's basically like a signature 500 horse, but it showed up brown. So it's like an ISX or signature whatever, but it showed up brown, not red.
Oh yeah.
Or beige. I guess the sand beige. And I saw that and I was like, oh, I should get one of those for K2 and then put with the big transmission. And then I asked, oh yeah, well, how much was his engine? And I think his total bill right now is like $70,000.
Yeah.
And I think the engine was like 40-something thousand. And I was like, yeah, maybe. I'm not ready to spend 40 grand on it.
Well, Edgewater found an ISX back east somewhere because one of their trucks cratered.
Yeah.
And somebody bought a whole bunch of ISXs and they had one too many and they put it up for sale and I guess they stole the thing.
Oh?
Took a while to ship it out here, but like it doesn't cost that much to ship stuff.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, and that's where you just got to keep your eyes open.
Yep. Well, it's like I was worried when I thought I'd blown up my 892 in the bus. And I got looking for 892s and I found all kinds of them, but it's just they're far, far away.
Yeah.
And, I priced out that C13 when Duke blew up. And I think it was I forget where it was back east somewhere in the States. It was going to cost $600 to ship it to Yuma. Because that's where I phoned them from.
Yeah.
I was talking to them. And I just got a quote just for shits and giggles. And it was $600 to ship it to Yuma.
Which is really not bad.
No, because it was, back in Illinois or somewhere like that. But,
well, and even the engine for this thing, the 60 series, it's $3,500. Well, was the quote, which is probably more now. It's probably $4 grand because of inflation and part supply issues. But, so I buy a rebuild kit and then I need a turbo. So then I'm 4, 5, 6, at least $6 grand worth of parts. Then you have the time to tear it down. Or you buy a used engine, like someone was telling me they had a 60 series that they'd make me a good deal on for like $6,500 with a transmission. Well, I think that's what a guy's got to do. It's a little more work, but.
Well, this one here, if you're gonna not gonna rebuild that engine, I'd find a 14-liter 60 series.
Yeah.
Not a 12, just for resale.
Would they be the same length?
I think so, close.
Well, and then I wonder if you put a 14-liter in, would the computer stuff be all?
Oh, you probably have to change the computer.
Yeah, get a 14-liter and make it 700 horse.
Well, 515.
515. But weren't the 14 liters more than 515, or were they? Because it was 515.
Most of them were 515. There was some 560s, I think.
Because I know when McKinnon's were doing their gliders, they did the 14 liters because the 14 liters are big power, but I can't remember what the power was. And then maybe, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
But, oh well.
But yeah, that's where, in a perfect world, it would be really neat to put like a signature 600 in
Well, you can.
Yeah, if you have enough money. Or, it's
time or enough expertise.
Put in a 6NZ cat, which, I could probably find a running one for 25 grand, which seems like a lot of money, but maybe it's 25 grand. But how hard would it be to do all the rest of it? Like, because that truck has no you know, it had a manual engine in it. So like we're saying, if you get that engine out of the Western Star and put in it, well then the radiator's the same because it's low flow and
Yeah. It all depends on how much money you want to spend. That's the thing. You can do it, you can spend any amount of money.
I don't want to spend any money. The least amount as possible.
Like when I was building the bus, I kept telling people, I'm not trying to prove how much I can spend.
Well, and that's the problem with having a bunch of projects. Like if I had one truck and it was the truck, you know, you devote all your time to it. But when you got a few trucks and you're like, well, if I spend it all there, then I can't do it over here. And
The only trouble is with one truck, you get burned out.
or bored.
Or bored, yeah, or both. It's like my trouble. I have lots of great ideas, but I've done it for so long that it's just like drilling out those bolts. They're just a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And I've done so much of it, I should wheel the welder over and weld a nut on and on and on and on. And I'm sitting in there thinking, well, I got to climb out of here, and then I got to, screw it. Then I was going to wrap up that cord, that wire. As you can see, it's still not wrapped up.
Well, and that's where sometimes I almost think too is maybe maybe call a mechanic out and spend $500 and say, here, fix those 2 broken bolts.
And then they do like I did, turn around and say, screw this and leave. Because it's like, it doesn't seem to matter, but lots of times, you know, when you heat up the bolts, you make them hard, and then they're hard drilling.
Yeah.
And like the one I heated up, and it still wouldn't wiggle. Like I couldn't move it with the vice grips, and I got it red hot. And the other one just wouldn't drill. Like if I probably took half a day of steady drilling, I might get halfway through it.
Yeah.
But
well, then maybe we should go to Princess Auto and see about some titanium style drill bits, because I did see some. I didn't buy any because they were expensive, but maybe if a guy bought like a couple,
yeah,
rather than a set.
Anything's possible. Well, I think that one, if we can get one out, I wouldn't worry about having one broken one, but 2 side by side is...
Yeah, less than ideal.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, it's an old truck. If it was going to work and pulling heavy weights, then it'd be a little different story, but...
I still think I'm going to strap that bell housing. Because I was looking at the crack and like, they're not bad, but I think if I put a strap on it to hold it together, it won't go any further.
You know, we should... Did you look into bell housings at all?
Well, I did when I was looking at that 353 Peterbilt, because it had a broken bell housing.
Yeah. And
like, even talking to Leo, like a bell housing is not just a matter of unbolting it and bolting it on, because you got to have a dial indicator and you got to dial in where that bell housing fits.
Oh.
Because your rear main seal sits in the bell housing.
Oh.
So it's not just a matter of unbolting it and bolting it, and like the starter's on there, and just go look at the starter and see how much you want to tackle that. You can see it and you can touch it, but you can't do both.
Yeah, right.
So he figured we should just leave the bell housing.
With the broken bolts?
Not with broken bolts, but with
those
cracks.
Hairline cracks or whatever. Yeah.
But I think I'm still going to strap it. Put the strap over the top just to hold it together.
Yeah.
I think.
And a person could just put a flat plate on it and just weld it on each end onto those brackets.
Yeah, I could do that.
Motor mount brackets.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to pull the bolts out.
Well, yeah.
Well, we'll drill it out, and if we have to, Healy coil it, and we'll try sticky welding it. And mind you, I was just thinking, when I did it last time, I had Mel's welder here, so I was using a wire feed.
No, I could bring my welder over, but I got to pull my side by side out before I can get the welder out, I think. Well, maybe I can pack the welder out.
Yeah.
just don't bring the cart, that's all. But until I plow the snow out, we ain't getting nothing.
Yeah, right.
But,
Oh, well. Well, we'll have to go get a transmission. A 13-speed transmission.
yeah,
13A.
that guy was at Coast Powertrain, I told him I wanted a 13A, and he said, that's gonna be awful quick with 390s. And I said, yeah, well. Because the A is a double over. And I think they put the B in because it's got a lower first gear.
Yeah. What, did he say anything about the B, or?
No,
Didn't say it was oddball and...
not really. Not really.
Huh.
He said he'd take this one apart for nothing.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you're looking at just about $2,000 for a bearing kit, and if what Leo figured, it run out of oil. So you're going to need at least 3 gears. The very minimum is 3 gears and a bearing kit.
Yeah.
So already you're $3,500.
Yeah.
And the case might even be, you know, might have a bearing hole oversized, which then they got to turn it and put a sleeve in it. And, I mean, it's all possible. It's just how much do you want to spend?
Well, and if you could buy a 13-speed from the wreckers for $2,500, it's...
No guarantee, but...
Yeah, no guarantee with this either. Wow, I mean, I guess there is a guarantee if you get it rebuilt, but...
Yeah, but if it sits in the yard and does nothing, the guarantee doesn't mean squat.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the reason why I don't want to put a new engine in a truck or whatever, because I don't work them.
No.
So then you have warranty for nothing. Or it's too good for nothing. Although Duke does smoke a little bit on startup when it's cold, and I don't know, I feel like I should set the top end again or get somebody to look at it, or
I just put it in a Peterbilt and get somebody to set the top end, set the jig.
yeah, get Tom to take a look at it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's running and driving, so it's worth the effort.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yep.
That, and then if I do sell it, I can sell it with confidence that it's not going to blow up.
Well, it's like, and I get bit in the ass by it quite a number of times, is not wanting to spend the money and then ending up costing me more in the long run.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save a nickel and, you know, stoop over a dime to pick up a nickel.
Yeah. Which is why I think we should put a new clutch in there.
I don't.
Actually, I guess that's a little different. But.
You go look at that clutch. There's lots of meat on those.
Well, we've perfected pulling it out of the top now, so.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's no big deal.
If it wasn't for those stupid bolts, we'd have a new transmission in it already. Or could have.
Yeah.
Well, we have to go get the transmission, but. You
Well,
don't want to rush into these things.
We could even put it in with those 2 broken bolts. The only thing that bothers me is they're 2 side by side, but then...
And they're on top, so you have the weight pulling down on it.
Well, yeah, but you have the back end of the transmissions supported.
Yeah.
And maybe with the 2 broken bolts, the cracks wouldn't go any further.
Or...
Yeah. I don't know. Are those mirrors that are out by your shed off, I think they were off this one.
Yeah.
Are they good?
I think so.
Because I was looking at them the other day, and they're those round mirrors that are a little bit wider and a little bit longer. I had my eye on them.
Well, I'll take them.
There's too much snow in front of them right now.
There was a convex on that one, and then I kind of backed into it and broke it off.
Oh yeah.
That's what happens when you put too many trucks in here. It gets a little skinny.
It's like our shop we had in Cowart Road, I could get 5 trucks in there. But they all had to be in the right order.
Yeah.
They had to be in the orders that they were going to work. The last guy went in first. Which was usually the highway trucks.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, I should go do something constructive.
I think I'm just gonna go put my feet up and
Yeah, me too.
check my eyelids for holes.
Since I tweaked my shoulder muscle, take some rowbacks, maybe surf the Facebook Marketplace for transmissions.
There's none there.
Yeah.
I just wish that Peterbilt in Fort St. John had a registration.
Yeah.
'Cause that had a lot of stuff that I wanted.
Well, there'll be more. Well, and that's why I think this spring we should like maybe go check out Badger and stuff.
Yep.
We'll go on a road trip. We'll take a trailer just in case.
Well, I was thinking if I keep this 1 ton, I should get a gooseneck trailer.
Yeah. Gooseneck trailer would be handy because you can haul trucks on a gooseneck.
And backhoe.
Yeah.
Because as much as you can license them driving down the road, it's scary being on the road.
Yeah. Yes.
I had a truck try and run me off the road. Because the Lomac wouldn't pass me on a double solid.
Oh.
But I think it was a new driver with and he followed me from the top of Mud River from actually just about McBride Timber right down to the bottom of Mud.
Oh gosh.
And it was clear he could have gone by. And I'm not pulling off on the side of the road because this thing starts to bounce and it,
Yeah.
you don't know where it's going to quit bouncing.
Bounce off into the side of the road or into the ditch.
Well, just make a right turn into the ditch. Did you see the marks in the snowbank on Mud River this side where people hit where the water's running across the road and it freezes?
Oh yeah.
And there's a couple of them have flown off into the moose pasture.
Wow, I noticed that coming up Mud River Hill because you hit a patch of ice and then woo.
Yeah, I did too.
I was actually the other day concerned with down by the bridge because it was wet and then it was freezing and I thought, oh yeah, someone will come around the corner, lose it and slide into the oncoming traffic, but
Yeah.
just stay away from those people. Those people.
Well, don't drive after dark.
Yeah. They can see everything.
Well,
Yeah.
this is too comfortable. I'm going to have a nap.
We're calling it a day. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Hopefully we get more done. But, you know, maybe not. That's how she goes.